So I went out and bought a boat. Obviously, this is my boat, you guys. This is the new boat. This is a Sundance FX17, the Flicker. This is the exact same style boat that I've been fishing off of that my buddy George owns. And after fishing on that boat and bouncing around on a bunch of other little small skiffs that my buddies have, I decided it's time for me to step back into a small skiff and get skinny with redfish, you guys. Now, this boat right here is not going to replace the Sea Hunt. This is going to add to my list. So I now have a collection of a small John boat, I have the Flicker, and now I have the big Sea Hunt. So there's no fish that can hide from me at this point, and I'll be able to get out and do all kinds of really cool stuff for you guys to see here on the channel. So good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel as I speak of it. Welcome to Low Country Fishing. My name is Dan if you're new here, and what I want to do today, guys, is I want to take the Flicker and I want to go out and I want to do a little inshore fishing as that tide is coming out. Now, once we do kind of hit the lower tide phase, I am going to transition over to a little bit of shrimping. Boop. That's why I got my basket. That's why I got my deep hole Phytech net. And I'm going to throw that net around low tide and see if I can load up on some delicious, yummy shrimp. So I'm fishing out of Shellman's Bluff. This is Barber Landing Ramp for those of you that are interested. Let's get out there. Let's go catch some fish. So I'm just throwing the cast net right now, just testing a couple areas. And I tell you, you never know what's gonna be in the bottom of these 40, 50, even 60 foot holes. Now the hole that I'm throwing on right now is about 45 feet in depth, which is pretty long because I only have a 50-foot cord. But check this out. Flounder. These are white trout, white trout, white trout. That's what looks like a little croaker, 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 shrimp, shrimp, shrimp. So I can't keep those. I will keep these guys right here for bait. And this little dude right here is legal. Flounder only have to be 12 inches in Georgia, but there ain't no meat on that little dude right there. So he will go back. And you guys will go in the bait well. All right, so not a bad way to start. Catching flounder, catching actually keepable fish in the net again. I did that on the last video, and as well as some shrimp and some croaker and whatnot. So I'll keep those croaker to dangle on our cork later as the tide starts to come back up. And I'm just testing spots right now, you guys. Just finding deep holes, throwing the net a couple times, checking the slopes, checking the edges, just kind of seeing what I can find. And that right there is not enough for me to stay in a general area. If I'm testing an area and I throw the net a couple times, I like to at least pull about 5 to 12 shrimp in a net for me to stay. If not, I'm kind of wasting my time. So I'm gonna head out to the sound and see what the wind's like and also see what this current is like. All right, so I made it out here to the sound, and I tell you, man, it's beautiful out here. The current's completely dropped out. There's not hardly any wind at all, and it's flat. You can tell how flat it is out here behind me. And that's the conditions that you definitely want for shrimping. Now, one of the things that I did do on my way out here, I noticed that the State Patrol boat was out here just randomly checking boats. So I went right on up to them. I said, hey guys, I'm gonna be out here shrimping. Here's my fishing license. Here's my SIP permit. Here's the net that I'm gonna be throwing. And I just touched base with those guys real quick. And you know, that's something that you guys might think about, is just being friendly to law enforcement, right? These guys are out here protecting our waters, making sure that people are doing the right thing. And you know, your fishing license is paying for their salary pretty much. So it never hurts just to go out there and to be friendly. And that's honestly what I like to do, because I'm a first responder myself as a firefighter. So anytime I get a chance to say hi, thanks for what you do, I definitely extend that warm greeting to them. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start throwing my shrimp net around. This is an 8-foot, 5/8 inch mesh Phytech cast net. Now, in the state of Georgia, if you want to keep anything over 2 quarts of shrimp per person, you need to throw a 5/8 inch mesh cast net. If you're interested in picking this thing up, it'll be linked in the description down below. Phytech makes a good one. Betts also makes an okay one. I have both of those nets, and I honestly prefer the Phytech. Now, one of the things that I do with my cast nets is before the season starts, I take this whole net, I put it into a 5-gallon bucket. I put 2 quarts of Downy fabric softener in it, fill that bucket up with water, and I let it set for 3 days. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna condition everything. You'll notice that the nylon and the mono that's in the net, as well as the rope, the cord, the lanyard, everything on this net is gonna be nice and soft and very pliable, and it won't be stiff, because your net's probably gonna be stiff because you haven't used it in probably well over a year since the last season. So right now I'm sitting in 25 feet of water. I am marking some good bait underneath the boat, or some shrimp underneath the boat. So I'm just gonna begin blanket broadcasting. I've got the trolling motor set in place right now, and it doesn't really have to do too much because there's not a lot of current, but I do wanna stay where I am marking the bait and throw the nets. Now, one of the things you can do is you can come out here and you can be friendly with the other boats that are here. You can drive up close to them, say hi, how you doing? You catching any shrimp? Watch them from a distance, see if they're pulling any shrimp up. These are all little tips. Or you can just get out here and lone wolf it and do your own thing. So I'm kind of lone wolfing it, but I am staying on that same depth line that these other guys up here in front of me are throwing on. So hopefully we'll see if we can get some shrimp. All right, so one of the things you guys can do, if you're not sure if your net is on the bottom or not, is you can just do a little simple math. I'm sitting in 25 to 26 feet of water right now. This is a 50-foot line. So basically, once half of that line is in the water, you know you're there. If you're throwing in 40 feet of water with a 50-foot hand line, you can just simply go 6, 12, 18, etc. And that's how you can kind of get a measurement for if the net's on the bottom. Now, once this thing does hit the bottom, I like to let it sit for just a minute. Don't be so anxious to pull that thing up. Let it sit down on the bottom pancaked, and just give the cord just a little bump like this, and that's going to get the net moving a little bit, and any of those shrimp that might be buried down in the mud will kind of dance up. It'll tickle them up into the net. A lot of them will jump right up into the horn, and then all you got to do is just pull them in. I mean, check this out. That was that throw. So I've got big old horseshoe crab. See ya, buddy. Another one of these little guys. Bye. And your friend there. And don't forget mama. And oh, don't forget, there's a baby on top of her. And there's another baby over here. And then, what is this? Sticks. And then, there we go. 3 dozen shrimp or so right there. And this was that first cast. So this is what 2 casts of Georgia shrimp looks like if you're in the right area. How about that? How much is that in the supermarket? All right, so I'm on the load of them here, right? Every throw seems to be getting better and better. I also keep catching more and more bycatch. Caught a nice little shark on that last one, stingrays, and now it feels like either I have a ton of shrimp or I have some bait in here. And nope, it's just a lot of shrimp. So there you go. There's another 40 shrimp right there at least. So I'm trying not to hold my net out of the water too long, so I don't want to call all the boats over, but I am watching and looking around, and it seems like everybody else is doing really well. Now, the interesting part about this is a lot of these shrimp, almost all of them, are red-legged. So that means these guys are on the move. From last season, I learned from Walt, the shrimping expert, that a lot of these shrimp, when they're just stationary in big pods, they're not going to have the red legs because they're not moving around quite so much. But these guys are all moving. But look at all that shrimp, you guys. That's probably a dozen throws right there. Pretty cool stuff, huh? All right, so I'm not showing every cast, obviously, because it's just repetitious. But I do want to show this one. This is hands down my best throw to date, and it's full. It's one of those throws where I thought I had another shark in the net, Oh, but it wasn't. Look at that. All right, so my voice is starting to go, but Wesley and his dad are over here shrimping. Unfortunately, they lost their net, and Wesley was struggling throwing the net, so I just brought him on board the flicker and just giving him a quick little lesson on how to throw. And yep, there you go. Lift it on in. Perfect. How about that? Not a great throw, right? But look, you probably got about 3 dozen shrimp right there. So check this out. Good amount of shrimp. There he is. So it's good stuff, guys. So what I'm gonna do is I've pretty much limited out on shrimp for the day. So I'm gonna throw the net and I'm gonna try to get these guys as many shrimp on board as I can. That way everybody can share in the easy catchings here. And then we're gonna wrap it up in a little bit. So let me get back with him and I'll see you guys in a second. All right, baby, we got 48 quarts of live shrimp, guys. These shrimp here are delicious. They're so good when you get out here and catch them yourself. They're sweeter than any other shrimp, in my opinion. So what I did there at the very end, guys, I hit my limit in about 2.5 hours. It was really quick. I was sitting on them really thick. There was another boat that was over there with me that had just pulled up, and I noticed that the son on the front of the boat was struggling to throw the cast net. So I just kind of creeped over there very nicely, offered an opportunity for me to show him how to throw the net, how to throw that net a little bit better. So he stepped on board the boat, and me and Wesley in the next hour or so netted probably about another 20 quarts of shrimp. So that's something that I always enjoy to do, you guys. Just pay it forward, right? The Lord has blessed me with opportunities. I like to take advantage of those opportunities and give back in ways just like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little bit inshore fishing, right? My voice is a little hoarse if you can't hear it already, but I am going to take an opportunity to just see if I can find some redfish, flounder, and trout. I have my mother-in-law and father-in-law that are living in Richmond Hill right now, so anytime I go out and I can catch some fresh fish for them as well as those shrimp, I'm going to take an opportunity and take some fish back home. So let's get some Z-Man out and let's see if we can catch some more fish. Oh boy, it's 3:45 right now, and guys, I'm done for the day. I've had a good time out here. Got about 30 pounds of shrimp behind me. I got 4 good-sized trout in the live well, and I tell you, man, I come in contact with 20 or 25 trout. It was insane. These fall time fishing trends are here. Fish are schooling up. Fish are extremely hungry. They're fattening up. They know the cold's coming. So they're gonna just gorge themselves on everything they possibly can. So do yourself a favor, get out here and fish. If you're from upstate or inland a little bit more and you've been putting it off, guys, now is the time to go. Water temps are 72 degrees and the fishing is right on the money right now. So that's all I got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget, hit that thumbs up on your way out. Tell YouTube that you enjoy the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, you guys. God bless.